Well, Jon, that's a wrap on the 2025 season, a historic one for the Falcons Women, first year in Tier 2. Results didn't always go as we'd hoped, but what's your assessment of the campaign?
In a lot of ways, it's been really successful. We've kind of gone from nothing really to something that's kind of will stand us in good stead for future years. So resources, facilities, structures set up in place off the field, which will put us in a good position for when we go again.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, I suppose, that things like having a strength and conditioning coach, a physio, having more access to the ground, playing at HQ venues, it has been a big step up for the players. And even though results might not have always shown it, they've taken to that life quite well, haven't they?
They have. I can't fault the players' commitment to training and to match day prep. The results haven't gone our way, and the players know that, and there's no hiding behind that. But in terms of our approach to that, it's been 100%.
Yeah, and again, we talk about results having not gone our way, but you're with the team every week, every match day, every training session. When you look back to April, and then we sit here today after the final game of the season, how much of an improvement have you seen?
Players have they've improved in certain areas. Physically, we know we've got a lot of work to do in terms of kind of matching up to size in terms of their physicality. So we know that's a big piece of work for the winter. But technically, there's been periods in every game that we've matched the opposition, but we've just not had the depth to carry that on through the game really. So there hasn't been many games where we've been on the end of a really strong bad loss. There's been periods where we've kind of stepped up and stood toe to toe with the opposition and at times kind of exceeded them, but then just kind of meandered away and just fallen away. And that's been a catastrophic drop off. It's kind of gone from there to there in a handful of overs really, and it's just been difficult to catch that up. That would be a summary of the season.
Yeah, and looking ahead to the winter, what changes in terms of the preparation and what are the plans for recruitment?
So we've got a full winter with the players, and the S&C and physio will have again a full winter in terms of their data collection, their benchmarking, their physical competency and testing. So they'll have a real bank of knowledge that we didn't have last winter. So that'll be a really big improvement. So we need to, and we'll start at that September. So there's no kind of hiding place. We don't shut off. We carry on. So that'll start September. We are going to trial some other players in October. We've got an open trial system. So it would be foolish not to look at players who are out there now for next year. So we'll look at players and then make a decision probably November time. Yeah.
And are there any plans potentially to utilise the loan system a bit more in 2026?
I think we have to. I think we identified a squad and stuck by that squad and we've been really loyal to that squad and they've played a full season. But the reality is in this competition, with every other side dipping in and out of the loan market, it's difficult for us to then compete. So that's something that we'll definitely look to do, yeah.
Yeah, and as I mentioned at the start of this interview, it's the first year of Tier 2. On a wider scale, away from just Derbyshire, how do you think the system's worked in year one?
Fantastic. I mean, we're talking to the players this morning that actually, regardless of the results, I hope in time they'll reflect back on that they've been kind of trailblazers in terms of Derbyshire County Cricket Club and the first ever Tier 2 side, and they've left their mark. And they've paved the way for other players to come into that system. So it's not to be dismissed. The results haven't gone our way on the field, but there's been some strong things that have happened off the field. And I think in time the players they're still hurting a little bit in terms of it's win-lose, but I think as they reflect on it in years to come, I think they'll look back and think, do you know what, I was the first one to do that and we started that process off. And so that's something to hold on to, yeah.
And that's it. It has been a historic season when you think of Laura Shaw in that first game down at Bristol scoring a half century. Maria Andrews, first Vitality Blast 5-wicket haul for the Falcons in a win against Northants, and even that first win at Worcester as well. There have been some great moments this season, and those will be things that the players and yourself can look back on fondly. Yeah,
definitely. And again, we've been speaking about in the change rooms after that game, the kind of champagne moments of the season, and we've kind of have a bit of a laugh and a giggle about some of the things that we kind of enjoyed and celebrated amongst ourselves. But yeah, I mean, Maria's call up to Super Fours was again an outstanding achievement. Jess and Laura, again at the top of the order, have dominated most power plays, and again teed up potential for us to push on. So that needs to be kind of noted. So there's areas where we have kind of showed our skills, but just not often enough and not long enough. But that's not for a lack of effort and a lack of trying. It's just come from just more pressure from the opposition. And again, we've seen again today a pro player comes into a tier 2 side and scores 82 not out, and they're the dominant forces that we're up against. Yeah.
I suppose one nice thing for this season as well is, away from the first team, is it's proven there is a real pathway through to not just tier 2 cricket but professional cricket. When you think of the likes of Laura, who's come through the system, has signed a deal with the Blaze. You've had Maria, as you've already mentioned, called up for the Super Fours, but then even somebody like Gemma Rose, who playing age group cricket, well, she took a 4-wicket haul against a professional team in Yorkshire. So if you're thinking of the entire system, there is a really bright future for the Falcons Women.
There is, yeah, and the pathway's strong in that regard. I mean, Gemma topped the bowling in terms of wickets for the under-18s. So it's a big jump from under-18s into tier 2 cricket, but we're not in any rush with these players. And this environment allows us to expose players and dip in and out of that environment. But it's a long-term plan for people like Erin Crosby, Sophia McCullum, and as you mentioned there, Gemma Rose. And we still forget, I mean, Maria Andrews is still an under-17 cricketer. She's a special player. Yeah.
And lastly, if I can just put you on the spot for a second, if there was a moment or a theme from the season that you could pick out as your favourite, what would it be?
I think just the first win that we got in the T20. I think the way we played at Worcester, that sense of relief and just a real buzz around the squad in terms of we've kind of got one chalked off, and then that led us to winning the next game. We got a little bit of momentum then, and we were a game off from finals day. I mean, I think that's worthy of note that we got to that stage of the season where one win from the last 2 would have pushed us into finals day. So there's something there to hold on to.